Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. So, how was your holiday? How was your holiday?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? What's wrong? What's wrong?
I couldn't hear any.
Can you hear me? I opened. Can you hear me? No? Yes or no?
Something happened here.
Yes, I can listen to the music from your side.
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear you, so I will leave the meeting and join again.
Yes. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me now? What's wrong? Can you hear me? What's wrong?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I open on my.
Yes. So, how are you today?
Yes, I'm fine.
How was your
And you?
holiday? I'm good.
The holiday, I just stay at home and sleep. Oh, I forgot that we got a meeting on Saturday morning.
Yes, yes. I was waiting for
Sorry.
you, but you didn't there, so we'll just end up the meeting and then it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So, how was your holiday?
I just stay at home and watching film all
Stay
day.
home and watch film.
Yeah.
Why don't you do anything special? Why don't you do anything else special?
Maybe I clean my house, like I how to say arrange all the something in my apartment, like change the location of some furnitures.
Okay. So you just like rearrange your apartment.
Yes.
That's really nice. Okay. So let's say, what about your boyfriend? What did he do?
He he does the housework with me, and we watching film together. We go to our friend's house. But we just have a year to celebrate the Independent Day, and that's it.
Oh, just like, why don't you do anything else special in Ho Chi Minh City? There are so many places that you can go.
Yeah, we do not go any place because it's rainy all day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Actually, in my hometown, so I went back my home and it's for raining like during 2 days, and then when I go back to Taiwan, it's not raining anymore.
Yeah.
Just like
It's,
the day off is too short, so we couldn't do anything. Like we couldn't do so many things.
so you you are on your hometown during holiday?
Yes, I was there in 2 days. I was there for 2 days, and then go back here.
Did you meet your friends?
Actually, no, I didn't meet my friends, but I meet my family. Actually, I didn't meet my father because he's far from my home. So I meet um, my mom, my sister, and then I visit some of my relatives.
Ah, that's great.
Mhm.
I have to go to the bedroom to check the iPad because it's low battery.
Okay. Okay, so let's say what lesson are we learning today? So, wait a minute. Hmm. What lesson? Not this one, sorry.
The last lesson,
Yes.
the last one.
This is the test, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's say we have the test related to the transportation, and yeah, like we have several questions here, so I'm gonna ask you those questions. And after this test, you're gonna have some other test. I will send it to you later, like the writing test. It's not so hard, so just take it easy. So,
Yeah.
what are some common means of transportation in Vietnam?
Uh, there's some common means of transportation in Vietnam that I know is in the roadway, airway, um, railway, and marine. Like in roadway, we have cars, motorcycle, bicycle,
Yes.
like some freight transportation like container, truck, uh, yes, lorry, no, vans, maybe vans.
Yes, some vans.
Yes, and that's it.
That's it.
And in railway, bus also in road transportation. And in railway, we have tram, subway, um, monorail,
Mm-hmm.
like monorail, like
Well, it isn't.
monorail, like the rail with one rail. Not usually we got two rail parallel to get the train and go through, but monorail is just one rail. on
I'm not
rail
sure.
line.
I'm not sure I know that kind of transportation. Xe một bánh à?
Tàu tàu một ray ấy, đường tàu một ray ấy.
Is it the new one?
Bình thường là nó sẽ có 2 đường ray ấy, nhưng mà cũng có loại tàu nó chỉ có 1 đường ray thôi ấy.
Is it really? Is that new in Vietnam?
It's not available. Oh no, it's not available in Vietnam. Sorry.
Yeah, we just talk about the transportation in Vietnam because like there are so many kinds of transportation in the world. You can list like all kinds of transportation, at least 100. There's so many.
So we got tram.
Yes.
Maybe metro in the future.
Yeah, metro in the future.
Yes, and that's it.
I'm not sure like when we can use the metro because it's still in the process.
Yes, and I read on the newspaper that because they have no capital enough for construction the metro system, so maybe it will delay like maybe some more years later, because in the plan that the metro system will complete by 2020, like 2020, but maybe it's not meet the plan, meet the schedule anymore.
Oh, yes.
Because of the money, the budget.
So it's just like it's limited. The money is limited, so they cannot like continue their metro.
Yes.
So it's just like we never see the metros in the big city in Vietnam, especially in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi.
They keep continue building construct them, but we have to wait the budgets from foreign company for foreign organization like ODA from Japan, or like some, I don't know, like some others investor.
Yes. So let's talk about the advantage of disadvantage of those transportation that you just talked about.
The advantage and disadvantage of some kind of transport, like for example, like cars. Advantage of cars is convenient with the room inside the vehicle, and we could use the car for the long distance without the effects of weathers outside, and it's flexible. We can go anywhere with cars, and it's faster than motorcycle, faster than the bus. Yeah. But the disadvantage is maybe the cost for the operation of the vehicle, like the cost for buying the car, the cost for buying the full like the full, how to say, the gasoline.
Yes.
Yes, and the cost for maintaining the vehicle, maintain the vehicle, like
Yes.
yeah, that
Maintain.
is one. And also the emission to the air environment, how to say, like it's harm the air environment.
So like the exhaust of the vehicle will pollute the air environment. It's called the
Yeah,
air pollution, especially in the
yeah.
big city. Okay, I see. So let's say which one is better, private transport or public transport?
I think that in my point of view, I think that public transport is better than private transport for the whole society.
Why do you think so?
Mm, because the in the city there are a lot of infrastructure there, like housing, building, uh, and many other uh, parts like mm, and a lot of people go into the city every day to work and maybe for living, um, and if all of them using private car, then we do not have enough infrastructure for them um, to using the road system in the city. So it's much better if we all using public transport to going to the destination to, I mean the to traveling inside the city.
Mhm.
So we will not get the traffic jam anymore, and maybe not air pollution much like
Reduce.
in current. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's really hard to do that because like the public transport is not enough for all the people who live in the big city, and like the private transport will be really more convenient compared to the public transport because like it's about the timing, especially in Vietnam they're not really on time, so it's really hard for them to calculate the time that they can go to work on time or not. And the traffic jam is always occur in the big city, so they can use the public transport if they want to work, if they want to go to work on time. And like one more thing is because like in Vietnam the working market, the working market is really diverse. So for example, if you work for something like marketing, so you have to go to see your the customer in the shop, in the city or something like that. So you have to travel to work. It's just like travel during your work. So it's not really convenient if they can use the public transport to travel like that. So it's more convenient if they have a private transport like the motorcycle or the car.
Yes,
And
I I know that in some, like for the private purpose, we should use the private vehicle because it's flexible
mhm,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah, it's flexible. And just like about the attitude of the people, and like the attitude of the people in Vietnam, especially in the big city, they just want to go faster. So they choose to go faster by using the like walking side to drive their motorbike. I saw some people did that, and that's one thing. Another thing is about the attitude of the people. They are not really comfortable using the public transport, especially the bus. And just like the uh, the amount of the bus is not enough for all the people if they use the public transport in one time. Like normally the people will go to work, will go to school or travel uh, in the morning and in the evening. So when they go to work, it's around like during 8 or 8:30. So like during that time, it's like a big traffic jams in this big city.
Yes.
So like they cannot afford using the public transport during that time.
Mm, yeah. So that's the, how to say, the big issue for the government for the how to say the manager, policy manager, and like they have to call for more investor to invest into the public system in some big city in Vietnam, like the metro line. But you know that maybe the metro line is not here like a lot of money like this in Vietnam in currently, but because the money for um, đền bù á, tiền đền bù á, gọi là gì nhỉ? Tiền, thực ra là có một từ trên ngành ấy chị quên mất rồi.
Let me check whether I can play it.
Like the money for the resident who live in that area before, like, and this money is bigger than the money to building the metro line.
Yes, it's not easy.
Yes, bigger, much bigger. So that's why the capital for to construct the metro line is what to say is double, no, not double, maybe triple.
Triple, really?
Yes, because the money for clearance, the clearance side, how to say, maybe clearance side. Yes, the money for the to pay for the resident is much expensive. Like ví dụ như là tiền, tại vì là cái tiền giải phóng mất bằng tiền đền bù các thứ ấy, nó gấp mấy lần so với cái tiền mà để xây dựng cái metro ấy, cho nên là điều đấy làm cho mấy cái metro ở Việt Nam nó cứ bị delay hoài.
Is that private or it does belong to the government? That's private, right? It's belong to a country. Oh no, it's not. It's belong to a company. Kiểu như người ta đấu thầu
ấy. Kiểu nhà đầu tư nước ngoài ấy, họ đầu tư tiền vào Việt Nam. Thứ nhất là theo cái diện là hỗ trợ những cái nước đang phát triển, có những cái quỹ như ODA của Nhật Bản, nó sẽ hỗ trợ cho các nước đang phát triển để xây dựng hệ thống công cộng ấy, nhưng với điều kiện là sẽ phải sử dụng công nghệ của họ, nghĩa là công nghệ của họ từ việc là sử dụng đường ray, mua nguyên vật liệu của họ, không gần như là sử dụng công nghệ là mua máy móc của họ này để xây này, rồi là mua đầu máy của họ này, sử dụng công nghệ tích vé, rồi mua vé, rồi tất cả hệ thống là sử dụng công nghệ của cái nước mà đầu tư cho mình đấy. Kiểu như là họ đầu tư nhưng mà mình phải mua nguyên vật liệu của họ với cái giá mà họ đưa ra.
Thế thì cũng khá là ok, nhưng mà em thấy chủ yếu là cái vấn đề là người dân người ta không chịu nhận cái giá bồi thường, hoặc là người ta không chịu chuyển đi ấy.
Đúng rồi, thứ nhất là họ không đồng ý chuyển đi, thứ hai là cái tiền bồi thường nó rất là lớn.
Yes.
Cực kỳ lớn.
So is traveling by plane convenient? Why or why not?
I think that traveling by airplane is basically convenient because it's fast with high how to say high level of service. Yeah, high quality of service. Like we could sitting on the airplane, reading book and eat something on the airplane, and just and it's fast. It just got 2 hours to go from Ho Chi Minh City to Hanoi. It's much faster than any other vehicles.
Yeah, it's faster than any other kinds of transportation. Yeah, I know that. But it's not easy to travel by airplane because like they can have some fixed airport. For example, it's not really near. it's not really convenient if you travel from Hanoi to a big city, because if you live in the countryside or if you live in another province, so you have to travel to the airport and take the airplane, and on the way back you all also have to do the same. So it's not really convenient. It's
Yes.
fast, really. It is really fast and safe, and like high level of online speed. But actually, it's just really far away from the city center or something like that, because they need really big space for the airport.
Yes. Except for Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah. So do you think that if the majority of our country population travel by public transport, traffic jam will be reduced?
Hmm, I think yes. Yes, I do. Mm, because to say I learn about traffic and transport, and I know that if we have the strong public transport system, like strong, like we have enough the vehicles, enough the bus for all the resident, enough the metro line for all the resident in the city to traveling in inner city. So the traffic jam will be reduced.
Yes, that's right. So, what can you recommend that we can reduce the traffic jams in the rush hour?
In rush hour. We have many policy, many measures to deal with traffic jam, like about the policy. We maybe in Hanoi, a few years ago, they just do the policy that change the time to go to school and to go to the workplace. You know, do you know? Change the time open for the school, like
Later.
it's sooner
Uh,
for the student and later for the women who
okay.
have to pick up and drop up their children to school.
Mhm.
And you know that it just make all the demand not in the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think that's what? Because like normally we go to work at around 8 or 8:30, and then we so after that, like before that, we can pick our children to the school, and then we can pick them up after the school. So I think it is a fixed hour. That's why there's a lot of traffic jam during the rush hour. Let's say the rush hour is from 6 to 8 a.m., and then from around 5 to 7 p.m., because like during that time a lot of people use the transportation.
Yes, and you know that in Vietnam, the character there is and they are a characteristic that make the people they do not use the public transport because they have to pick up their children from school to the home. So they will go like a trip, a round trip, like from the workplace to the schools, to the school of one children, then school of the another children child, and then back home. And if they use the public transport, it's not convenient for them to go like how to say the
Because I go around the
a trip
city.
with a lot of destination. Maybe they will go to the market before go to home, and that's why they prefer to use the private vehicle
uh,
than the public transport. But in the foreign countries, yeah, they usually have the school bus for children to get to school and get back home on time. So their parents do not have to think about pick up their children from school, so they could go directly to their house, to their home.
It's safer, and it's like everything is in the system. So they have a school bus, then they have a really convenient metro, and everything is really convenient for them, for their life. So they save their time, and they're not so tired. They're not so exhausted after a long working day.
And at the school bus, we could call that public transport.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like maybe later in like 100 years later, we can use that same system for Vietnam. Maybe
I hope so.
it's just like we cannot live that longer.
Yeah.
So it's just like we okay with our current life, and like we can protect ourselves and be ready for any situation that's happened in our life with the transportation. And just like if we can, like if the like the company, they can work in the smaller city, so we can work in the smaller city, so we can live there, and it's better.
Yes, maybe.
It's just like
if I
most
could
will be upset about it. Yeah, what did you want to say?
I said that I study in Bình Dương City, not in Ho Chi Minh City, and I know that Bình Dương is the great city with a good transport system. They build the bus system very well, and also build many big roads for people to traveling, and they know traffic there, traffic jam in traffic congestion in Bình Dương City, but I could not find any good job there, so I have to like move to Ho Chi Minh City to get a good job. Then if I wish that we will have the good metro system from Ho Chi Minh City to Bình Dương City, so I will
Stay
definitely live
in
in
Vietnam.
Bình Dương and work in Ho Chi Minh City. Yes, and I hope.
Yes, that's so awesome. And I think like Bình is a really developed city, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's right.
In the south we got two province with
I guess
the-
GDP
yes, um, kiểu như hai tỉnh
giàu
gọi
nhất.
là khu công nghiệp, nhiều khu công nghiệp nhất các thành phố phía Nam ấy, gọi là gì nhỉ? Khu công nghiệp là introduction park area, introduction area, khu công nghiệp phải không?
Khu công nghiệp cái vị trí introduction area.
Area, yeah. Kiểu như hai tỉnh đó là Đồng Nai và Bình Dương. But Đồng Nai is the old province that's like the công nghiệp là gì nhỉ?
Introduction in industry.
Industry, yes, industry area with a long history of developing. So it's like there are no place for the induct. How to say? And chỉ là không, kiểu như nó bão hòa rồi ấy. Ở Đồng Nai thì các khu công nghiệp gần như bão hòa rồi, là gần như không còn đất để phát triển nữa ấy. Và sau đó là Bình Dương là khu công nghiệp mới, và sau đấy là những cái nhà đầu tư nước ngoài ấy, người ta bắt đầu đầu tư vào Bình Dương để tạo thành một cái tỉnh với khu công nghiệp, nhiều khu công nghiệp mới.
Yeah.
Nên
So
Bình
do you
Dương
think
bây giờ
that that is good that we can work in the like the company in the industrials area or just work in the city center. Like, do you think which one is better, working in the big city and or working in the like industrial area? Which one is better?
Um, I don't know. Working for the working is it's depend on the job. you know. Um,
Yes, so maybe it really depends. Like somebody just like working in the industrial area because they can have some dormitory, so they just live there. But it's like it's not the long term work, something like that.
um, yeah.
Want to study. So, if you can choose another language to learn, which one do you prefer?
Language.
Yes,
I prefer uh, maybe Japanese.
Japanese. Why do you prefer Japanese?
Mm, I don't know because I think it's so Japanese voice very cute, and I want to look. I want to know about Japanese culture more.
Yeah. But do you
Uh,
think that Japanese is really difficult to learn?
yes, I think that's. I heard that Japanese is difficult than Korean.
Difficult in Korean? Yes, of course, it's difficult in Korean.
Mm. And even Chinese
Yeah, Chinese is really
because
easy language. So yesterday I saw some Chinese people in the way, but actually I didn't talk to them.
right.
Yeah, maybe I should talk to them because like I'm not really confident to talk to them.
Um, Chinese. I think Chinese easy to like for the conversation, daily
Yes,
conversation,
daily
but
conversation.
it's difficult when we writing, right?
Yeah, when we write, it's really difficult to remember the new word.
Mm.
Okay, so we just over time, so it's um
Uh,
let's say we just do like a half of the test. Maybe we can do it later, and we still have a eight lesson, no, seven lesson more. So maybe finish this week,
mm,
seven last week,
uh,
seven lesson more. Like maybe finish this week and like few days of the next week.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna see you tomorrow for another lesson.
yeah. See you.
Okay, have a nice day. Bye.